Protesters marched in New York to protest immigration raids after days of demonstrations across the country. U.S. President Donald Trump has deployed thousands of troops, including 700 active duty U.S. Marines, to Los Angeles, despite California authorities saying the move is unnecessary and will inflame the situation.
Hello! Ice the top, I've got to go!
Ice out of New York! 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 New York! Ice out of New York! Ice out of New York! Ice out of New York! Hey, no fear! Immigrants are welcome here, no hate!
Hello! Ice the top, I've got to go!
Ice out of New York!
They're just
airship, are they shop standby for
California Governor Gavin Newsom said President Donald Trump is pulling a military dragnet across Los Angeles during a brief public address on Tuesday. The Democratic governor's remarks come after Trump ordered deployment of nearly 5,000 troops, including National Guard and Marines, to the nation's second largest city. They were deployed to protect federal buildings but are now protecting immigration agents as they carry out arrests.
Thousand of our state's National Guard members to deploy on our streets illegally and for no reason. This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. That's when the downward spiral began. He doubled down on his dangerous National Guard deployment by fanning the flames even harder. Trump is pulling a military dragnet all across Los Angeles, well beyond his stated intent to just go after violent and serious criminals. His agents are arresting dishwashers, gardeners, day laborers, and seamstresses. That's just weakness masquerading as strength. Donald Trump's government isn't protecting our communities, they're traumatizing our communities. And that seems to be the entire point. California will keep fighting. We'll keep fighting on behalf of our people, all of our people, including in the courts. Just yesterday, we filed a legal challenge to Donald Trump's reckless deployment of American troops to a major American city. Today, we sought an emergency court order to stop the use of the American military to engage in law enforcement activities across Los Angeles. This isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. Commandeered 2,000 of our state's National Guard members to deploy on our streets, illegally and for no reason. This brazen abuse.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass on Tuesday issued a curfew for the city's downtown following several days of intense protest against ICE raids that saw clashes between demonstrations and law enforcement, widespread vandalism and some looting, particularly during the late night and early morning hours. The curfew will begin at 8 p.m. local time on Tuesday and last until 6 a.m. local time on Wednesday, June 11th. and apply to a 1 square mile area in downtown.
I wanted to let the city know that I have declared a local emergency and issued a curfew for downtown Los Angeles to stop the vandalism, to stop the looting. Many businesses have now been affected by or vandalized. Last night there were 23 businesses that were looted, and I think that if you drive through downtown LA, the graffiti is everywhere and has caused significant damages to businesses and a number of properties. So my message to you is, if you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area. Law enforcement will arrest individuals who break the curfew, and you will be prosecuted. Hundreds of officers from police and sheriff departments from across the region and state are working alongside LAPD through a unified command structure. The curfew will be in place tonight from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. Who represents the majority of the district, Councilwoman Isabel Harach. You look at the map, and you can see that the city of Los Angeles is a massive area, 502 square miles. The area of downtown where the curfew will take place is 1 square mile. I think it is important to point this out, not to minimize the vandalism and violence that has taken place there. It has been significant, but it is extremely important to know that what is happening in this 1 square mile is not affecting the city. Some of the imagery of the protests and the violence gives the appearance as though this is a citywide crisis, and it is not.
Since Saturday, we've seen a concerning escalation in unlawful and dangerous behavior. On Saturday, LAPD officers made 27 arrests. On Sunday, that number rose to 40. By Monday, arrests totaled 114, and today alone, we've made 197 arrests.
We did not hear about any raids that took place today. The problem is that we don't know how long these raids are going to go on. If they're going to go on for 30 days, that's what the rumor is. And if we want to see our city peaceful again, I will call upon the administration one more time to end the raids. With that, let's open it up for questions. And I think that's a problem with the administration, because to come in such a massive way and to make the announcements that all of this was going to happen and then not communicate it with the local jurisdiction as to when, what, how, why, is really problematic.
President Donald Trump used a speech at Fort Bragg ostensibly to recognize the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, to denounce the protest in Los Angeles as a foreign enemy and declare his intention to liberate the city.
Where I've deployed thousands of National Guard troops and hundreds of Marines to protect federal law enforcement from the attacks of a vicious and violent mob. And some of the radical left, they say, oh, that's not nice. Well, if we didn't do it, there wouldn't be a Los Angeles. It'd be burning today, just like their houses were burning a number of months ago. What you're witnessing in California is a full-blown assault on peace, on public order, and on national sovereignty carried out by rioters bearing foreign flags with the aim of continuing a foreign invasion of our country. We're not going to let that happen. They're hurling bricks and cinder blocks at law enforcement. Did you see they're breaking up the sidewalks and the curbs, breaking it up with big, strong hammers? These guys are professionals. These are not amateurs. They're breaking it up because they took the bricks away from them. Under the Trump administration, this anarchy will not stand. We will not allow federal agents to be attacked, and we will not allow an American city to be invaded and conquered by a foreign enemy. For a little breaking news, we are also going to be restoring the names to Fort Pickett, Fort Hood, Fort Gordon, Fort Rucker, Fort Polk, Fort A.P. Hill, and Fort Robert E. Lee. We won a lot of battles out of those forts. It's no time to change. And I'm superstitious, I like to keep it.
The UK Foreign Affairs Minister Hamish Falconer announced at the Commons that the UK would impose sanctions on the far-right Israeli ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich for inciting settler violence against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. It's cruel, it is degrading, and it is completely unacceptable, said Falconer. We have told the Israel government repeatedly that we would be taking action if this does not stop, he said. Petrol bombs, fireworks, glass bottles and pieces of metal were thrown at police during the second night of serious disorder in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. Hundreds of people gathered and riot police were deployed around the Clonavon terrace area. Cars and houses were set on fire. Police fired less than lethal rounds and used a water cannon to disperse the crowd. This comes a day after 15 officers were injured and 4 homes set ablaze following an outbreak of disaster on Monday night at Co Antrim. Greta Thunberg has been deported from Israel after the humanitarian aid ship she was aboard was intercepted by the Israeli military and towed to the port city of Ashdod. The Swedish climate activist was among the 12-person crew on board in Madlin, a vessel organized by Freedom Flotilla Coalition FFC, which was carrying aid including rice, flour and baby formula to Gaza.
Against our will to Israel, where we were detained, and then some of us deported, some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain, so I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days.
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now. This is yet another international a violation of international rights, adding to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
Are you worried about the others, that they might be detained for any length of time?
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages pointing towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can to mobilize to their governments and other ways to demand their immediate release.
Are you disappointed you didn't manage to break the blockade?
And that's the end of the world 360. Stay tuned to CVR News English.